Choosing a career or finding purpose in life is much like going down a river. Now you got to choose which stream are you going to take. Is it going to be calm or rough? Is it going to be thin or is it going to be wide, much like this river? Is it going to be well traveled by other people, or are you going to choose the river less traveled? In this video, I'm going to share 3 nuggets of wisdom from my learned experience to help you with choosing your career. And if you're new, I'm Michael, with over a decade and a half of mentoring over 1,000 students in person from multiple countries, multiple continents. Mentoring students from as young as teenagers considering dropping out, all the way up to retirement age people considering a new career path. From all walks of life, from low income, hard backgrounds, all the way up to the ultra wealthy, considering going to Ivy League schools. Folks struggling, not knowing what to do, mostly because of lack of self-esteem and also because of lack of knowledge. And I've also provided references for people going to Ivy League schools to pursue doctoral degrees. All kinds of careers, including going to Wall Street for careers in investment banking and private equity and hedge funds, and a ton of other industry jobs. First, you could follow the river with no plan, or you could check the map and learn from those that came before you. Find out what makes money first. I know that sounds controversial, you know, you're supposed to be told to follow your dreams, but collecting stamps and playing computer games is a hobby. It's not a business until you start to make money. Know where you might be going. Knowledge is the first step. Before you make up your mind, open it. So figure out what kind of jobs there are and what you can make. Glassdoor is a fantastic website for seeing, for instance, different jobs and different salary types. You may not be aware, for instance, of certain jobs that are out there. Like a petroleum engineer, what do they do? How much do they make? Historians versus lawyers, teachers versus nurses, children crossing attendants versus air traffic controllers. Second, find out what you're good at. Maybe ask yourself, search inwards, or ask your friends or family members, what do they think that you're particularly good at? Now you could take some aptitude tests. In fact, I would highly recommend taking an aptitude test to figure out what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your proclivities are, what your traits are, what your skills are. Jot down your skills. Numeracy, so good with numbers, or literacy, so good with words. Maybe it's people skills, you're good at people, you're good at emotional intelligence. Also, do maybe consider taking something like the IQ test or something like that. Because again, it's easier to go along with the direction of the current than it is to go against the direction of the current. So, you know, for some jobs like nuclear physicist, IQ might be something that might be more important. However, horsepower, so the ability to work hard, is more important than brain power. But just do keep that in mind, it's going to be very challenging. So what are your personality traits? Figure out what you're good at. Maybe you're creative. Maybe you're a people person. Maybe you like things over people or people over things. You figure out what makes you, you. Personality traits like these are important. At the same time, traits are just the accumulation of skills, and we can all learn skills. For instance, in sales, having a good handshake, being able to speak properly, look someone in the eye, sound confident, good posture, vocal skills. These are all things you can work on, so you can improve over time. Again, just a multiple of skills. You can accumulate skills. We can all learn skills. Like going to Toastmasters to practice speaking and developing self-esteem. Again, we can all learn skills. You can improve over time. So hard work or horsepower can beat IQ or brain power. The old adage, first in, last out. So be first into the job, but last to leave the job. But at some point, you've got to basically dip your toes in the water. You just got to try. You've got to start somewhere. You're going to learn by doing. So just try. Just dip your toes in the water. After all, most skills that you learn will be learned on the job, not in school, not in college. Also, don't forget to meditate. Think about things. Jot things down like Benjamin Franklin here in Philadelphia said. You've got to jot down your pros, or your assets, jot down your cons or your liabilities. What are you good at? What are you less good at? But lastly, and I know this sounds kind of controversial, right, is usually they tell you to follow what you love, follow your passion. But, you know, if you follow your passion, that could mean watching Netflix and eating popcorn, right? So really the most important thing at the end is trying to figure out what you like. But that's at the very end, once you know what pays first and also what you're good at, what you've got skill set and what will pay you. And look, it's true. It is difficult to work a job for long hours, long days, long weeks, long months, and even long years or decades if you're not passionate about it. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to be very difficult to get that good and to keep working on it. So you do have to find something that you do like. That's the ultimate, to have something that pays you. That's number one. Something that you're good at, number two, and something that you like, number three. You need not like every aspect of your job. Certainly there's parts of my job that I don't like. Any job, there's going to be little parts that you don't like. But as long as you like most of it, that's what really counts. Find out exactly what you like. Jot these things down. It's going to take a while. You know, some people can be apathetic, they can be indifferent. But finding out what you like is important. In fact, finding out what you dislike is often half the battle. But you just got to try, you just got to start. You got to dip your toes in the water. You got to just start and figure out what it is that you enjoy. If you just sit on the sidelines all the time, it's not going to happen. So you have to get in, you have to start something. Try. You've got one life, you can try lots of things. Jot down what you dislike, that's actually the harder part, and if you can get that done, that's really half the battle, as well as jotting down what you like. And meditate some more. Now that you have everything down, you've written down, these are the different jobs I could consider that pay pretty decently well. Also, here is basically what I'm good at or bad at. Also, here's what I like or dislike. Now, keep in mind that some skill sets are very, very similar. For instance, teaching versus going into nursing. So some people have come to me, some college students have asked me about this. Now, you might be good with people, you might like children, you might like caring for people, being emotionally intelligent. And you might think, you know, which should I do? Should I be teaching children or should I be a nurse? Typically speaking, nurses pay a lot more. Very similar kind of passion, but your life, lucrative, could be quite different. The same with historians versus lawyers. So it could be the case that you're very good with English, good with words, you like memorizing, you like reading, and you're deciding between history and law. Similar skill sets, and yet, typically speaking, the pay in law is substantially higher, just like nursing. So, you know, you might say to me later, oh, I wish I was paid more, or I wish I had chosen a different career, etc. This is why you need to plan. The aimless ship, when it doesn't have a destination in mind, it doesn't necessarily get there. So you really have to plan and think about these things. Find out what is lucrative first. Then find out what you're good at. This could take time. It's very easy to find out what's lucrative. You can do some research on that right now, right today. You can find out, go to Glassdoor right now, do it right now. And then you can find out, you can also jot down, just jot down, like, what do you think that you're good at? What do you think that you're bad at? And finally, write down, what do you think you might like and what do you think you might not like? Now, for those points 2 and 3, that might involve dipping your toes in the water. But at the end of the day, you're not going to find out unless you start. So I believe in you guys. I believe you can do this, and you can do this right now. This can change your life. Do it right now. Don't leave it until tomorrow. I've heard it before. I'm going to start going to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to give up smoking tomorrow. All these things are time inconsistent. Do it right now. Jot down right now. These are things that I'm good at. Or if you're meditating, if you're driving in the car, meditate about it. What am I good at? What do I like? You've got this. So guys, which path are you going to take? Write it down in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe so that you never miss more Investing Professor videos. Thank you so much, you guys, and I'll see you next time.